It seems quite possible to my mind, and very biblical, that in God's plan, Christian unity might actually involve more diversity. As I said, unity isn't the same as uniformity. My earlier comments about us becoming closer and closer together in our styles and preferences, laying aside our differences, may be way off the mark as far as God is concerned. Maybe in his omniscience, he can see how beneficial it really is to have such diversity in our church. And maybe he actually wants us to increase that diversity, so that the unity of the church as a whole becomes far more reaching and has a greater impact on the world. Earlier we heard from the Bible the Apostle Paul's illustration of using the body to show how every individual has an important part to play. If my whole body was just an ear, how would I see? If my whole body was just a foot, how would I smell? Cheesy. It doesn't actually say that. How would Christianity survive if we were all Salvationists? How would it do if every denomination suddenly became Methodist? There are so many functions of the church that simply would not and even could not be carried out if it wasn't for this wonderful diversity. Imagine God's role for us as being like a spiritual military operation. Not just individually, he has a role for each of us, I know, but think of his role for each of our denominations. We need a unit that could execute invasions, willing to take risks, suffer casualties and hit the target. But no decent fighting force could ever survive or accomplish the mission with an invading unit alone, could they? There needs to be a section of equally dedicated troops who can specialise in defence, in planning, in strategy. Then of course there are going to be those who get wounded or battle weary, and unless they have a place to go where the wounded can be cared for, they'll be lost. So a hospital unit is as vital as any other. Hand in hand with this, of course, is the need for troops who can boost morale, either on the field or off it. A portion who can keep the others going, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, nutritiously. I trust the spiritual parallels within our churches are evident. Now most churches consist of individuals who together meet all of these requirements, but each denomination too as a whole has a certain specialty in each of these areas. Maybe it can do them all, but it's better at some than at others. It is of course a spiritual war we're fighting, with many battles. But the unity that can be found in diversity means that together our different military skills can be used more effectively than if we were to try and hide these differences. From this week of prayer for Christian unity, it's quite possible that God will send back the message that he wants diversity within his church, just as his body must consist of different parts. Now you may say, well, didn't our leader, our military commander, Jesus himself, pray when he was on this earth that he wanted his followers to be one? Well, of course he did. It's there in front of you. John chapter 17. And there is an element of oneness and unity with which we must all agree. And that's the aim. That's the mission or the objective of this spiritual war. The ways in which each of our denominations do our part may be varied and diverse, but it must all be done with the one aim in mind: to know Christ, to make Christ known. Through our diversity, our unity is maintained through the belief that Christ and Christ alone is the way, the truth and the life. Knowing Christ and making Christ known is the reason for our spiritual war together. If we can't get the mission right and be unified on that, then there's going to be trouble in the ranks. Christ alone is the way, the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through Christ. Christ is salvation. The one thing that cannot be compromised, no matter what denomination we belong to, is the issue of the salvation of humankind. I'll repeat that. The one thing that cannot be compromised, no matter what denomination we belong to, is the issue of the salvation of humankind. God is pure and holy. Humankind are often, though we try to do good, is prone to doing wrong, displeasing God and what we call sin. We all sin. There's no way we can get ourselves reconciled to God and made pure so that we can be with him in heaven once we die. But God the Son, Jesus Christ, the way, came and lived a holy life on earth, sinless and pure. Christ, the truth, died for each and every one of us, sacrificing himself for us. And Christ, the life, rose again from the grave and is preparing for us a place in heaven. That's an assurance that we too will have eternal life. This is salvation. It's found in no one else but Christ alone. And how do we get it? Through confessing to God that we do things wrong. We're sorry. And through faith alone in what Christ did for us on that cross. Nothing more is added. Nothing more is needed. No uniform. No rituals. No magic words. Faith alone in Christ's blood. And it's finished. In this spiritual war we're fighting, the issue of salvation is the one thing on which we must be unified. To know Christ, to make Christ known. To know salvation. And to make salvation known. Together with all our strengths, put together. With all our special skills. Together, the churches in Hythe and Salford should be a salvation army. The organisation that William Booth founded, and which I love, can't be the entire army on its own. It's only a part of the strategy that God uses. But the Church of England, Methodist Church, Community Church, United Reformed Church, and all who agree with this fundamental salvation issue are all equally parts to God's strategy for his salvation army. Finally then, as we end this week of prayer, this community, I'd like you just to allow yourself to glory a little in the church's diversity. Allow yourself a little pride, God glorifying pride, in the denomination to which you belong. And pray that God may use our wonderful diversity and keep us focused on the mission of our unity, together as a salvation army, to know Christ and to make Christ known. May God bless you all. And may God bless the churches together in Hythe and Salford.